Hey everyone, you're welcome to Mathematics for Basic 3. Today is Monday, 10th August 2020, and the topic is Statistics Part 2. My name is Olusegun Adebanjo, your maths teacher at Kif and King Nursery and Primary School, Owode Ibeshe in Ikorodu. I have about 2 learning objectives for you today. At the end of this lesson, you say to yourself, I should be able to. The first learning objective is that you should be able to give basic description of the following. The first one, tally charts. The second one, line plots. The third one, bar graphs. And the fourth one, pictograms. The second learning objective is that you should be able to use the basic methods of data organization and presentation for data analysis and interpretation. Okay. Last week we dealt about all of these, that the basic method of presenting data by diagrams, by graphs, and by tables, which the first learning objective falls under. That is the tally charts and line plots falls under tables. Then the bar graphs fall under graphs. Then pictograms fall under diagram. Going by the first content here, that's giving the basic description of what tally charts is. Using tally marks is a simple way for you to keep track of information as you collect it. Grouping tally marks in fives makes it easier for you to total the numbers in each category by skip counting. Tally marks are most effective when recorded in an organized column chart like the one below. I remember I showed you something like this last week. That's the table you're having on the now. That's using tally chart. Our favorite sports. Going by the sports, we have hockey, soccer, basketball, and gymnastics. For various students with different option, different liking for sports. Some will like hockey, the other ones might like basketball. And when you are doing the grouping, when you are trying to organize them as they come, it's not possible that they all come at once and like just one sport. So as they come, let's say for instance, the first one that appear is maybe going for basketball, for instance. So you go under basketball, place the mark there. If the next one is for soccer, go under soccer, place the mark there as it goes by. So when any of them reached number 4, so the fifth one, you use the fifth one to cross your marks. So that makes it grouping in fives. Okay, so that's the understanding of that. So like for hockey now, you have the first group of 5, then you add 1 to that, making 6. For soccer, you have just 5, then basketball, you have just 4, and gymnastics, you have just 2. So moving on to content 2 now, that's talking about line plots. Another useful tool for organizing data is the line plot. Okay, the line plot displays each piece of data by marking an X, that's a cross now, above the corresponding choice of value along a horizontal line as shown in the following examples. Okay, you can see that table now. The spots were arranged horizontally under, then as they come, you place the cross mark against each of their favorite spots. Okay, then you go like that vertically. That's the cross go vertically, but the spots are arranged horizontally. That's using the line plot in organizing your data. Okay, hope you are taking notes of each and every one of these. For hockey now, if you count the marks, then you have 6. For soccer, that's a cross mark. Now you have soccer, you have 5. Basketball, you have 2. Gymnastics, you have 4. Now going to content 3 now. Bar graphs. A bar graph is another useful tool for organizing data. Bar graphs can be vertically or horizontally. The height or length of the bars represents a number, and each bar represents a separate category. You can see the bars down there. Is that the first one towards my left? That's done. That's done vertically. Then the other one, yes, that's done vertically. That's the bars going vertically. Then the bars for the one on my right is going horizontally. Okay, so it can be done anyhow. Okay, so either vertically or horizontally. Just take note. That's how bar graphs look like. You can see the bars, using to organize data. Okay, let's move on now to example 1. With the following example, you should be able to undo the assignments that will be given later on. Okay, so example 1, we want to look at interpretation of data using tally charts. Now, for my birthday, I made a fruit punch. I counted the number of fruits I used and make a tally chart. Use the information to answer the questions. You can see the table for the tally charts. Okay, so we want to use that to answer questions 1 to 5. The first question says, how many apples did I use in my punch? Before that, let's look at the fruits. The first one, that's apples. The second one, oranges. The third one, pears. Then the last one, mangoes. Okay. How many apples did I use in my punch? Now, if you count in the group of 5, first 5, second 5, third 5, then the fourth 5, that's 5 in 4 places, then with another stroke of 4. Okay, so 5 times 4 is 20 plus 4, you have 24. That's 24 apples. So question 2 now, how many oranges did I use in my punch? How do I come about 26? If you go against the tally mark as regard oranges, you see that the 5s are in 5 places. Okay, so 5 times 5, 25 plus 1, you have 26 oranges. Then number 3 now, how many pears and mangoes went in my fruit punch? Pears, if you count, 29, then plus mango 17, that will give us 46 fruits. Then question 4 now, how many fruit did I use all together? That means you count how many apples, how many oranges, how many pears, how many mangoes. We have 24 apples, 26 oranges, 29 pears, then 17 mangoes to give us 96 fruits were used all together. Then question 5 now, if the mangoes cost 20 naira per 10, how much did I spend on mangoes? Okay, so we need to first of all find the price of one because it was sold in 10. So to get the price of one, you say the total amount for the 10 divided by number 10. So 20 naira divided by 10 will give us 2 naira, and 2 naira for each one. Then we count the number of mangoes to be 17. So 17 times 2 naira will give us 34 naira spent for mangoes. Now, for example 2, that's we have bar graphs now, so we need to interpret that. Some people made a kind of visit some planets, so we don't actually know the number, but the bars has given us the number, so it's now left for us to use the bars to interpret the numbers. Okay, now going by the question now, the first question here now, that's number 1. Fill in the missing data in the table for Mercury and Neptune. So it means that in the table here, that's towards my right now, Mercury votes, we don't have any vote. Then Neptune, we don't have any vote, but we can go by the bars now, the bars to get our number. With that, Mercury is 8, then Neptune is 7. Okay, so if you go, because the bars, that's towards my right, you have the numbers, then down under it you have under the bars you have the name of the planet. Okay, so the first planet there, Mercury, then and so on like that. So if you check that, Mercury is actually going by the bars 8. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, then 16. Okay, so the second question is that draw a bar to show how many votes Jupiter got. So we can't do that here. So move on to number the bar. Okay, since the number, let's check now. For Jupiter, going by the table, we have 11. So even though we can't do it, but we know where the bar will stand. If you draw the bar should stand in between 12 and 10 because it's 11. Okay, so it should stand in between. Then number 3 now. So you have to do that on your own. So let me read the question to you. I will still attach this one separately, even though it might appear as example that some have done some for you, but the one that you are to do will be number 3 and number 5. So the question is that number 3, which was the most popular planet to visit? Okay, the most popular planet. So going by the number, you should know which one do you have the highest number. So that will give you the answer. Then number 4 now says how many more votes did Saturn get than Uranus? Saturn we have 14, Uranus you have 8. So 14 minus 8 will give us 6. So 6 more votes. For number 5, you do that yourself. Now to number 3 now, that's using the pictogram. Okay, a pictogram uses copies of a picture of the same size to represent data collected. Okay, so the table below is for us to interpret how 38 pupils in a class go to school. How did they go? From the pictogram we have towards my right now, we have that towards my left, sorry, we have that some go by walking, other cycling, some by bus, the other using car. Okay, so how do we know that? For each of the diagram, each of the picture represents one pupil. So if you count the pupil against how they go to school, then you should know how many numbers. So it's been done for us. 17 pupils go to school by walking, 11 pupils go to school by cycling, 7 pupils go to school by bus, then 3 pupils go to school by car. If you check that table, you see that the numbers are correct. Okay, so going by the data given above, the interpretation, the most popular method of going to school is by walking. That is, the largest number of pupils go to school by walking. Therefore, the mode of the data collected is by walking. So we'll be dealing with mode, media, and mean in our next class. Mode has to do with which number appear the most, the one with the highest frequency. Okay, then mean is the average, while median has to do with middle number when you arrange either in ascending order or in descending order. So with that, I welcome you to the end of today's class. Until I come your way again, keep staying at home and keep staying safe. Bye for now. Okay.